Bruce Burns. So I was recommended for this job on a Chicago paper as a copy boy back in the 70s. So I went in and I talked to the editor and I told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. I had a tie on. You know, going to work for me was kind of a missionary kind of thing. Yeah, I was taking in organic walnuts and organic raisins and giving them away to everybody. At this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritual mood. So I enjoyed my job. I answered the phone most of the time, and people would call up and have a problem or complain, and I'd say, hey man, this is a capitalist newspaper. As long as it's a capitalist newspaper, its main purpose is not to serve you. Its main purpose is to make money for its owner. So I tell people to call the editor or come take over the paper, something like that. Many people responded very well to this suggestions. Anyway, one day there was this vase of flowers, right? I mean, it was just sitting there. And I was breathing, right? Right, instead of right? They said I disrupted the office. I mean, I was just sitting there, stroking the petals real soft, as if to say, hey man, I know it's a dragon here and you're lonely, but I love you. And that disrupts them. Okay. Next day, the editor calls me in the office and he says, blah, 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 blah. Well, I wanted to take a baseball bat and smash him in the head. I mean, I really like the guy. He's really nice. I'm not sure I would have gotten too much pleasure from seeing him shot up with 50 caliber machine gun bullets and splattered all over the place. My fantasy all summer at the paper had been get a machine gun and shoot him, or get a gun and kidnap the editor. I mean, for months I'd been trying to figure out what I would do when I got fired. You know, smoke a joint in the city room, stay just sit in the library, get a gun and shoot him, get a gun and say, how do you face your death, man? So I had to think fast. So I turned to him and I said, hey man, I hope you can live with the circumstances you're creating. And I walked out and started crying, and he came after me. And he said, hey man, I'm not creating these circumstances, you're creating these circumstances. I go, no man, I'm not the one with the power, you're the one with the power. Well, I got myself on unemployment, and that was fine the first few times. And then they said, take a number, and I wanted to say, hey lady, I can wait outside your apartment and I can hit you over the head and I can take your money. But man, that's bitterness, you know? I don't like bitterness. I'm a pacifist.